Hello everyone, we're back again.
We certainly are.
So Jane, in our groups, we have been doing lots of learning with the members over the last couple of weeks, and wow, how much knowledge have we given to the members? It has been absolutely amazing, hasn't it?
It's been great, hasn't it? It really has been great. And we're going shopping, aren't we, this week?
Oh yes, going shopping. I've told all my members to get the pound coin or the trolley coins ready. We're going shopping.
Good. So good, isn't it, really, with all this deep thinking and deep learning. It's just really what we need at this time. And hey ho, the shops are really going to be open, aren't they, on Monday?
I know. I know. It's, it's another step, isn't it? It's another step back to normal. Fingers crossed. But yeah, it is, real life is coming back, isn't it? And that's sort of why we sort of wanted to talk about what we're going to be talking about today, because, well, I think the 3 lockdowns that we've had, so we had the first one from March, and I think even though we didn't know what to expect, we only expected to be about 3 weeks, didn't we? Let's face it, we wasn't expecting to be in the same position now.
A year plus later.
I know. But, we had the sunshine, didn't we? People took it very, very differently to the other lockdowns. Yes, there was the uncertainty. We weren't sure what was going to happen, but it was almost like a bit of a holiday, wasn't it, for some people? I know I was in the garden lots more than what I ever have been. We were having barbecues, doing family time and things like that. And then obviously we had a bit of normality where we went back to group in August, didn't we? Yeah. And it sort of went to then, was it November, when we were meant to be having those 4 weeks? 4 weeks?
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Yeah. And that felt very different because people were a bit more positive about that one because it was 4 weeks. That's what we got told. It was 4 weeks.
Right.
And it sort of didn't end up properly 4 weeks, did it? But I think this third lockdown, people have really struggled with this one because we've had the dark nights, we've had the cold, miserable weather, it's been wet, it's been snowing, it's not been a great time of year to be stuck in, has it?
No, definitely.
And I know personally I've struggled with this one more than the others.
Yeah, it's really strange you should say that, but I have really kind of like focused, haven't I, from the 1st of January, really, because of my struggles last year. The anxiety is a dreadful thing, and I think that even people who have never been anxious before are suffering with anxiety because of this. But it's such a relief to know that we now can seriously. We've been saying so many times, haven't we? There's light at the end of the tunnel. There's light at the end of the tunnel, and that light each time turned to darkness, didn't it? Really, let's be honest, because each time it was like we're being built up and then we're battered down. We're built up and then we're battered down. And you know what? That is just like talk about being, on a roller coaster. And I really look at life very much like, last year that I was on a boat, and the boat was going through storms, and then we'd head into calm water, and then it'd get rocky again, and then I'd be a bit seasick at the thoughts of what was coming next. But and it was that we were all glued to the television, the doom and gloom of the news, and that has caused so many people to lose sight of themselves, to comfort in food, to comfort in drink. And I just, it has been a very, very difficult time for members, with groups running virtual, and people not wanting that group experience that we have in real life. And those Zoom groups have worked fantastically well. I mean, thank God we've got technology, because can you imagine the world without? If this had happened in, say, even kind of like the 70s or 80s, we wouldn't have had the technology to do what we have been able to do for all of our members, which, you know, with the support, be it in a different kind of fashion. But yeah, it's now we can seriously see the light coming through.
Yes.
And what impact did it have on you, Zoe, as a St. Paul's member?
Well, I've sort of, I mean, in the first lockdown, I got my 5.5 stone award, which was like brilliant. But then, and I've held on to that, but it's been very much like this sort of gain, maintain, lose, you know, it's sort of been like this. So I have generally maintained throughout the whole time. And it's only been the last few weeks that I've sort of really, you know, had something switch on in my own head to be able to carry on. But what's I really noticed with me is old habits coming back in, you know, the secret eating in the car, you know, the replacing of food that the hubby's bought, you know, so he doesn't know, and he knows because he sees the packets in the bin. It's ridiculous, you know. So those kind of things have snuck back in, but also new habits have snuck back in. And it was when the children went back to school, and I suddenly realised that my new habit was my snack time changed. So my snack time came sort of later afternoon, and that would be, you know, sort of reaching out, you know, maybe okay stuff like a hi-fi bar, I can count the sins or have them as my healthy bee, you know, or the skinny whips, those kind of things. But actually, I didn't really need them. That was the thing. And it became the realization when the kids went back to school that actually that broke that habit for me, because I was collecting Abigail from school at that time, where I then started reaching for the snacks. So things have changed like very much. And obviously with all this new learning, and I do believe it's partly from me doing a for and against list, which is one of the motivational tools that we do, isn't it? And I did sit down, and I've done one before, but I've never really sort of really done it before. Yeah. I've never really dug deep. And this time I really dug deep, and I actually realised I was frightened about getting to Target, because I've spent my whole life, you know, being in situations where I've been put down, you know, I've had negative things. So actually one of my sort of, I don't know, fight or flight responses is to fail, so that someone can't tell me I've failed, because I know that already. So by not reaching target, I'm failing before they even need to tell me, sort of thing. And actually that realization, and then with all the learning that we've done, oh wow, a switch has just completely gone in my head. It's been switched on, and I'm back to the old me, the pre-lockdown me that was steadily losing the weight, but was confident I was going to get there, which, you know, has been brilliant. I mean, drink isn't a big thing for me. And I know, you know, members have drank more over the lockdowns because, you know, let's face it, we've not had the school runs. Yep, exactly. But, you know, we've not been commuting to work or anything like that. So it's not like you have to worry about being slightly hungover, you know, and not driving. And
yeah, no, that's right. Though it's quite true, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm sure that a lot of people, you know, kind of like other halves have been at home. So, you know, there was like where no weekends, was it? It was, you know,
no, you couldn't say there was a school night. You couldn't drink, you know, what did we used to say? Oh, can't drink on a school night. Couldn't say that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you wouldn't you? Chris Whitty had come on and Boris had come on, and you'd say, yeah, open the wine. Yeah. We're not going to get through this week. We're not, you know, we're not going to survive it. So open the wine. No, yeah. You know, on a serious matter though, you know, what you've just said, Zoe, about setting yourself up for failure, because that is what you believed you were, a failure.
Yeah.
That identifies, and you know how very similar we are. That resonates with me 100%, because that's exactly what my belief was, that I was a failure, and that was also in my life. So it's changing those thoughts, isn't it? And like you're saying, that once you get that realization, and then you just kind of like pick it up and move forwards again.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's like with food optimizing, it becomes a habit. And I'd lost that a little bit. I ended up having to think about it. And then it was like, oh my God, I'd wake up thinking about food. Like, what am I having for breakfast? What am I having? And it almost can consume you, can't it? With like this sort of like food, where actually these last 2 to 3 weeks, it's gone back into that natural habit. It's gone back into, things didn't change. I didn't swap back to cooking with oil or anything like that. And, I still got the 5%, mince and things. So things like that didn't change, but just the reasoning behind what I was doing has changed. And that's a massive, massive thing.
Yeah. It's wonderful.
And I want to be ready. I want to be at Target, and do you know what? I don't want to pay anymore.
No, that's right, though, isn't it? No, it's quite true, isn't it? I mean, I was a paying member all last year, from the 10th of January to be precise.
Yeah.
Last year. So, but yeah, but I still kept coming every single week. I didn't walk away. But for members who have walked away, the great thing really is to know that when they do walk back, there's no judgment, because we understand. I think that's a really important thing, that you should never, ever be afraid that there would be any judgment. I think that's what is the wonderful thing about our groups, is the fact that I'm always delighted to see members when they walk back through the door, and I think the honour when they come back to me, with gains, because they, goodness gracious me, I spent my life gaining and losing 6 stone from the age of 18 to 51. So it's, it is what we have been, and you yourself, have experienced, and that's what's so fantastic about Slimming World groups, isn't it?
Yeah. And the thing is, we have had members even stick with us, and what they've done similar to us, haven't they? They've been maintaining. We've had members that have absolutely flown. Absolutely, I've got members that have got so many awards during these lockdowns and have been absolutely amazing. But we do have members that are still stuck with it, and maybe, we've had the gains and things like that, but actually just having the interaction with the social, that's been really important for them. And
whether in the storm,
absolutely, because we can't underestimate what we've actually been through, can we? It has just been, wow.
You could never have written it, could you?
No.
You could never have written it.
No, and it's like in the films, they have the vaccine, 2 days later they're all right and back to normal, don't they?
Yeah. That's great that we have got the vaccines.
Oh, brilliant.
Absolutely. It's wonderful, really. But the vaccine was already sat there waiting, wasn't it? Really, they all had already got, so they just did a little bit to it, so it wasn't that it was just rapidly developed.
Yeah.
In such a short space of time, it was already there. It just needed some adjustments to it to be able to, to be used. So it's great. So we're looking forward, aren't we? Not backwards.
Yes. Yeah. So it is all about getting ready. you know, being prepared. I mean, I'm getting messages upon messages asking when we're going back to group, and the actual answer is, at the moment, I'm not 100% sure. I haven't got dates set in stone or anything like that. And the members will know, you know, as soon as, you know, we do sort of have things set in place and things. And I think it's really important, isn't it, to make it the right decision for the members as much as us and things like that. It's about making it right decision for the members. It's like, I really would love to go back and do the face-to-face meetings like we were doing in, you know, from August, because you saw the members, you got to know the members, you got that buzz in the room, and you know, it's what people want, isn't it? It's what people really need. And yes, all right, we might, when we get to that stage, it may be still got to sit there with a mask on and things like that, but crikey O'Reilly, you know, that's what I'm really holding out for, really holding out for those days. And who knows, it may go back in a few months' time where we can just do the turn-ups like old groups.
I know. Make a cup of coffee and run around.
I know. Have a chat around the
kettle. I know. It's on its way, isn't it? But
hopefully,
to be safe.
Yeah, it just has to be right, doesn't it? Because I think the worst thing is having that taken away from us again.
I wouldn't be able to cope with that at all. I wouldn't be able to cope with that, because the work that's gone on in the background, I think that would just floor me completely, which is why we're on the side of caution and looking after everybody, so that when we do go back, we go back with a huge bang, and it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, no, and do you know what? And I think the members don't just want the scales, do they? They need that support, and I think even more
from everybody. It's not just the support from us as consultants, is it? It's the support from everybody else. It's knowing you're not on your own. You know, when you feel when we feel fat, isn't it? When we'll say, oh, I'm just, look, I can't get any clothes, my clothes are tight, I feel miserable. I've got nothing to wear, I can't get on anything in the wardrobe. It's, you know, it's turning that around though, isn't it? Go, you know, as I spoke to you this morning, didn't I? I've been through all my wardrobe this morning, and I've had a lot on. I was like, oh, we had a fashion parade around the bedroom, going, oh, these are comfy. Can be done. It can be done. It can be done.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the thing is as well, it's like, I can't wait to see those members that I know that are waiting. That's I really can't.
Waiting in the wings.
Waiting in the wings, literally. And, you know, I'm so looking forward to getting them back, you know, as much as anything. And
me too.
It's just going to be so much better. And I think with the support that we can give, especially with this new training, I think it's really going to help and enhance people coming back as well, you know, because it's difficult, isn't it? Like, you know the plan. If you've done it before, you know the plan, you know what you're doing, but actually to come back with the mentality of a fresh start, or, you know, to come back and pick it up, is it that easy? You know, but the support is going to be there, isn't it? That's the thing. The support is just going to be there.
Absolutely is. 100%. Definitely.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward, not backwards.
Yes.
That's right.
Absolutely. And you know what? People can start making changes now, can't they? I've had plenty of people joining me recently where, you know, it's like, I just can't do it any longer. I want to be ready to, like, get out of lockdown, right. You know, get back to real life.
Yeah, pick up the phone, give us a call, you know, reach out, you know, get prepared, come down. You know,
and do you know what? Even if it is that you don't want to do the virtual side, because people don't do that, you know, let's face it, you know, people haven't joined us and continued their journey at this point because the virtual is not what they want to do. But do you know what? If you want to know when we're going back or the information, just message us. and then we can pop you on our list, can't we? So we can keep you updated and just
waiting
keep you
list.
going. Absolutely, absolutely. So brilliant, brilliant. So next week, we actually haven't decided what we're going to do next week.
No, we're not. So next week's going to be a surprise.
Yeah, we'll sort something.
Yeah. All righty. Take care.
Okay.
All right. Bye for now.
Stay
Bye.
safe.
Bye.
Bye.